Hi everyone, Letty here from Party Planner Papery. I have another hashtag PaperStashSmash video. This is a crafty collab. I'm going to have my July and August recap and my plans for September. Welcome back everyone. So I'm participating in hashtag PaperStashSmash. This is a crafty collab that's co-hosted by Debbie of Project 39 Mini Albums and Carolina of Carolina's Crafts. There is also a full list of collab participants. I will link everybody down in the description box below. We do also have a playlist, so you can check out what everybody has done for this past month, and I will link that video down in the description box below, but also I'll try to link it down in the very end of the video, somewhere around right here. Okay, so if you watch to the very end, I'm going to try to link it right here on the screen so you can just click it and go straight to the playlist. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. So thank you so much for joining me. You probably know I was not able to join in last month, and you are about to see why. I had nothing but PhDs, projects half done. And so I had great intentions, and then life kept lifing. And I just didn't get very much done at all. And so I didn't even get a chance to record even like a small video just to kind of show my progress. I just had, you know, thing after thing after thing kind of come up. But what I wanted to do, even though I still have not finished several of my projects and I still have lots of PhDs, I wanted to go ahead and show you what little progress I did make in July, and then also show you again what little progress I made in August. My goal is to turn things around in September. Things have started to calm down, so I'm hoping that I'll have more crafty time. Fingers crossed, definitely. So let me show you. These are just some little free printable trackers that I have in my Ko-fi shop. If you want to play along, every month has a different prompt. We are now at the month of September, but for the month of August, we had the task to do a 6x6 paper pad or collection. Now, I was only able to smash one paper pad, and it is one that I just recently picked up in my recent Echo Park warehouse sale box. And I think that was from July, if I'm not mistaken. So this was a little 6x6 paper pad. It's called My Best Life. I just was absolutely loving all of the colors and the fun, trendy patterns in this little paper pad. It is it was a 24 sheet paper pad, double-sided. I did have a little bit of scraps left over, and it's just because I got to the end of the month, did not get to finish. So I'm going to just put this aside with the leftover sticker sheets, or the leftover stickers from the sticker sheet that I had. And I'm going to see if I could maybe make one or two more scrap cards later on this month. And if not, we'll just go back in my stash. And next time I'm playing with similar colors, I will go ahead and take it back out and try to finish some stuff. So I'll show you the cards that I made for that in just a bit, but I was able to get 26 total A2 size cards from that paper pad. And part of that is also the September sheet load of cards, which you will see tomorrow. I'll have a video coming up tomorrow, and I'll show you a very close-up kind of all of those cards that I made for the sheet load. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. But I'll show you all of these cards that I made separate from the sheet load in just a few seconds. So now let's take it back a month. For the month of July, it was actually supposed to be 12x12 paper pads or collections. And I did horribly. I had great intentions, didn't do very well. So I had the 12x12 photo play Mad Plaid Christmas. It is this collection. Let me see if I can get the collection. It was this collection right here. It was one that I had purchased several years ago. I don't even know what year it's from. Let me see if I can find it. It's actually very old. Well, it looks like I purchased it in 2018 from Tuesday Morning. And so this must have come out like even before 2018, if it made it all the way to Tuesday Morning. I still have a few little stickers left. I did use up all of the paper, like as far as the larger sheets. Here's what it looked like. But I did have a few scraps, and it wasn't a ton. it was some like different like long words that I just could not fit on an A2 size card because that's what I was making. And so I went ahead and I saved them, and I definitely, you know, craft for Christmas quite a bit all year long is what I try. So I should be able to tackle this at some point. These are just the branding strips. I just wanted to show you that I did have those as well, but these will definitely get tossed in the recycle. I'll just kind of keep these in my stash along with those like a few like stickers. I'll just cut them down and then throw them in this little bag, and I don't even have to keep anything big. So that was one thing that I did. I'll show you all the projects in just a second. Now, the second thing that I tried to smash, didn't get very far, but I mean, I made some progress, so we'll call it a win, was the Paper Studio Peach Fuzz. It is a 12 by 12 paper pad. It's from Hobby Lobby, and this is what it looks like. It has some really fun like copper foiling. Very, very pretty. It was $19.99. I did not pay that. I paid 40% off. So, you know, it was really, really affordable. And you get 60 sheets. This is cardstock. What I tried to do was use up a third of the pad, which was 20 sheets. So I used one of each of the different patterns. There's 20 different patterns in that pad, and I used one of each. I did have a tiny bit of scraps as well, but this was it. Out of 20 full sheets of 12 by 12 paper, this was all I had left. So I thought that was a pretty good dent in it. Of course, I did not smash the pad. In fact, I had just purchased the pad a few months ago. So I wasn't really looking to kind of fully smash it just yet, but I thought that it was just absolutely gorgeous. And even though it's like peach themed, I actually used it to make a ton of fall projects and fall cards. But again, I had some things that I just did not get to finish. So those were what I did. So I kind of counted that as like one full, which was the 12 by 12 pack, and then the Christmas one. And then I did 20 sheets of 12 by 12, which technically is almost 2 additional packs like this. But because it came from a pad, I just went ahead and counted it as a third. So I did 1 and a third. So, I mean, again, it wasn't like the best month or months, but you know, burnout is a real thing. And when life happens, you just have to kind of deal with it. And sometimes your crafty time, it has to get put on the back burner, unfortunately. And so that's kind of what happened. And so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that September will be a much better month. Let me show you some of the things that I did make. I was able to make the August 2025 sheetload of cards, and I used scraps that I had. These were super fun. I have a video for this one, just kind of showing them a little bit closer. So I was able to make some of those cards. And then I did take some additional scraps that I had, and I made some additional cards using the same. This was like a digital collection that I had released in my Ko-fi shop. I do have a Ko-fi shop, and it's like a little membership. Well, you can actually get a ton of free things from my shop that I list for free. They're all digitals, but I also have a membership, and it's $5 a month. And one of the things that I had, I think it was at the beginning of, or sometime in July, was this little set of digital items. And so you had sentiments and you had images. I thought they were super cute. So I made a few extra cards from there. And then I also did cut down quite a bit of like cardstock mats, and then layered them with some of that beautiful copper foiling. This is copper foiling like cardstock that I picked up. It's the Recollections brand, and I picked it up from Michael's. And then I used just some craft colored for some of the additional mats. And then I also have a few that are ready to go that I just need to finish. So these I just need to kind of assemble, and then these are mats that just need to be added to cards. But I wanted to try to cut down from those 20 sheets, cut down as many projects as I could. So I've got a stack of card bases that have already been started. I just need to add like a sentiment, or I could even use it as just like a little, like a note card without an actual sentiment. And then part of what I was also doing was I was making like these cards that were going to coordinate with some bookmarkers. And so these were the bookmarkers that I made. That one's upside down. So, but this is what I made. I ended up cutting out this cute little bow from my my silhouette, kind of like a cricket. And then I used the scraps that I had left from another big project, which I'll show you in a second, to make these bookmarkers. And I did laminate them, the backing of the cardstock, because I added a layer of cardstock, the same copper foiling cardstock on the outside. And so the back is like a craft color, and that's why you see that. But I did laminate them, so they are extremely durable. My goal was to either put these in my Etsy shop, perhaps with like the matching card base, or add them to my fall like craft fair lineup. So I am hoping to sign up and hopefully get approved for some fall craft fairs later on in the year, and so I'm hoping that I'll be able to just add these and then maybe just sell them for a couple bucks or whatever. The big project that I did with those 20 sheets was I was able to make 4 of these they're 5x7 envelope albums, and so these are plain. I have not added any pockets or any decoration. I thought the paper was super cute, but I have not finished them. And I did get 2 from each of the different like pattern designs. So we've got one that's more like peachy, and so it's just a little envelope album. And again, it's super basic. I have not added any embellishments, but I thought the paper was just absolutely stunning. So I have 2 of that one, and then I also have 2 of this one that's more like with the florals. So you can see there with the florals. So I just took the 20 sheets that I had, cut them down into the size mats that I needed. And then all of the scraps that I had after making these 4 big projects, I made cards. And then of course, I also made some scrap cards. So those were the actual cards that I made using this peach fuzz. Again, this was only 20 sheets, but I feel like I got quite a bit. But everything is, for the most part, I mean, I have some finished cards, but otherwise everything else is pretty much PhDs, like projects half done. I have not finished them. I'm hoping to maybe finish them this month, if not for sure by October, so that way I can have them for craft fairs in the fall, like later in the fall. And then as far as the Mad for Plaid Christmas, I was able to make some cards. These were just some things that I had in my stash. I coupled them with the paper that came in this collection. So I made a whole bunch of this style because that's what I had as far as the matting, the paper. And then I did have some additional little elements that I had, I think, fussy cut maybe a year or 2 ago. And so I added them to some. Look at the little kitty. And so I just added them, little gingerbreads. Some of these I have not finished, but I wanted to try to just get them sort of done. Like you can see here, I just need to add the toppings on that, like the embellishments. And then also here, probably just some like enamel dots. And then this one is just a completely blank one I need to finish off altogether. Now the additional projects that I was going to do with that Mad for Plaid Christmas was I was hoping to do some little notebooks with my cinch. And so I've already, what I did was I laminated some of these little things, and they're like, I think they're like 4x6 is what I ended up with, because I could get 6 of them from one sheet of 12x12. So I cut them down evenly. I rounded the corners, and then I added some stickers from the sticker sheet, and then I laminated them. My idea was that I would put 2 together, add some sheets in between, and then do the cinch holes and make it like a little notebook. And so you would open it, you've got all your stuff on the inside, and then the back would match the front. So I have already laminated these. I have not finished them. Again, these are some of my projects that I want to try to finish. These are my PhDs that I want to try to finish over the next like month or so. And then I also had just some scraps left over. So this was like the paper scraps that I had besides the other little stack that I showed you earlier. But then I also had some additional like 3x4 stuff that's matted, ready to go on other projects. And then a couple of also like 5x7s, like for 5x7 cards mats. So these are like the bigger pieces that I had kind of left over. Otherwise, I had a few PhDs and then lots of like cards, some of them that I have not finished. But overall, I felt like I was able to make quite a bit. It's just I wasn't able to finish everything. And so that was kind of the dilemma. But that's no problem, because as soon as I do get some free time, I will try to wrap up and finish up some of these things, and then maybe even list some in my Etsy shop, or like I said, save them for fall craft fair and then have them ready to go whenever I need them later this year. So let's talk about this month, which is for September. I cannot believe we're already September, but for the prompt for September is you're going to choose 8x8, 6x8, or 8.5x11 paper pad or collection. So I did pull a couple things. Let me grab them real quick and I'll show you what I plan to use, or what I'm hoping to use in the month of September. Actually, before I do, let me show you real quick the cards that I made using the My Best Life. Almost forgot to show that. So I mentioned that I did the September sheet load, so I'll have a video tomorrow and you can see those cards. I'm going to hold those for now. But then I also did do with some of the extra sheets that I had, I went ahead and made some additional cards. So I think I ended up making like 26 total cards between these and the ones that I made for the sheet load. But I think they turned out super fun. I used some like holographic cardstock that I got from Michael's. I added some enamel dots, and I was pretty much just trying to use up whatever I could from this little 6x6 paper pad. I think these turned out super cute. I love, love, love the colors. I did use a ton of colored card bases that I had picked up from Hobby Lobby. I think they were the ones, I think they were on clearance if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they were just on sale. But I wanted to use up my scraps, used up some of the cut aparts from the actual paper pad. They've started making larger cut aparts in these little 6x6 pads, which I love, but they still do have some of the smaller ones. So I think these turned out super cute. I love, again, the colors. And I was just trying to, again, have a little bit of crafty time because I feel like I've been crafty deprived. I haven't had a chance to craft too much lately. So I was just kind of enjoying this, really. But these were the cards that I made. So again, I will have a video tomorrow where I show you the sheet load and you'll be able to see my final cards using this paper pad. Okay, let me get my items for this month. Okay, so I have pulled out 3 packs of, these are all by Biddy Penny, and she is actually a part of the collab participant. I'll have her channel linked down below. She sells her own line of paper. I'll also have her website linked down below, which is biddypenny.com. You can see it right there. I don't know which ones she has in stock. I do know that she has digital, so you can check that out as well. But I have these 3 packs, and I am hoping to not maybe fully smash them, but I definitely want to try to use some of, hopefully all 3 of these. So I've got Crafty Queen. This one I've already used up about half of it, so maybe we'll see if I do actually smash it, but I love it so much that I kind of don't want to. And then we have the 4 Seasons. This one is really, really gorgeous as well. And what I love is that you've got basically, like it says, all 4 seasons. You can make a card for any season, any reason. So it's also very, very pretty. And then we've got Page Turner Volume 1, and I absolutely love this. It's book themed. It is kind of catered, most of the image, or some of the images are catered more towards like kids books and kids readings, but there also are some adults and more of like sci-fi and like fantasy, and I think it's just absolutely stunning. I would love to make some cards from here, love to make some cards definitely from here, and then I'm a sucker for anything that's crafty related, so Crafty Queen, you have my heart, and I would love to make a few cards, additional cards from this pack as well. So these are the 6x8s. Now, because I had just purchased some new items from that Echo Park warehouse sale, and I really want to dig into them. I've got 2 of these mega pads. These are 6x6, but they come with 48 different sheets. This one's called Harvest, and this one's by Cartabella, and it is stunning. I've shown this already on my channel. I did like a haul video. If I can, I'll link it at the very end of this one also, along with that playlist. But I think it's just absolutely stunning. So stunning. I'm hoping to make some items for craft fair with this. And then I also have Sweater Weather 48 sheets. This one's by Echo Park. And so it's just, they're just so fun. I love, love, love fall crafting. I'm hoping to do some fall crafting this month, next month, and the rest of the year if I can. Maybe not December, but the rest of the next few months. So the burr months, or except for December. But I absolutely love this too. So those are some additional pads I took out. Again, I don't know if I'll actually be smashing anything. I really need to try to finish up some of these projects. So we will cross our fingers. We will see what we can do. I do also want to mention, with the start of football season, I am also a saver, a budgeter. I love, trying to save money, using coupons, all of the above. And so one of the things that I do also try to share as much as I can on my channel is my savings journey. And so this month I'm having having football frenzy here on my channel, and you are more than welcome to join me. I've got a ton of items that are freebies that you can go pick up in my Ko-fi shop. There are also some member exclusive things. So if you are a digital tier member in my Ko-fi shop, again, that's the one that's like $5 a month, you can actually pick up some of these super fun savings challenges. I've got a ton of them, but I also have a ton of freebies. So I've got just anything you can kind of think of. They're all the different sizes, and including dashboards. So if you want to try to save some money, or even just watch me kind of save, get some pointers and tips and tricks, make sure you stay tuned. I'll try to have videos or shorts as often as I can, hopefully every day, but we will see. But again, I've got a ton of freebies over in my Ko-fi shop. I'll link that down below, as well as for those trackers. I'll have that link for you as well. I hope you're able to join in with us for this month. Again, it's 8x8, 6x8, or 8.5x11. Take out some sheets of paper, and even if you don't have those, take out what you have. You see here, I'm going to be trying to use up some 6x6s as well. I feel like I was cheated in August, or I kind of cheated myself here when cheated my stash. I didn't really get to use a whole lot, so I'm hoping to use some of these pads as well. Well, everyone, I will have a playlist linked right here in just a few seconds. You can keep watching and you can click on it and get to everyone else's video. I highly encourage you to check out everyone's video. Everybody does amazing work. This is a fabulous group of ladies that are just amazing crafters. So you definitely want to check it out. I'm sure they're going to blow this little bit of things that I did out of the water for sure, because they make some amazing things. So definitely check them out. I'll have the full collab list down below. I'll have the playlist here in just a second, plus down in the description box below. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some inspiration. And as always, happy crafting. Thanks so much for visiting, everyone. Here is the playlist right here on the left. You can check it out so you can see what everybody did this month. Happy crafting.